if your traditional Islam fucking remove the speakers. Remove those fucking speakers. And, you know, this is what the biggest problem of Islam is that it's full of double standards.
What are you talking about?
So you didn't like the adhan? So you take this, out of this three position, belief, disbelief and non-belief, yours is non-belief. You don't believe and you don't disbelieve.
I reject your categorization.
Okay, no problem. So,
because the universe will not force to 4 or 3 choices. The universe is more complex. I hope you accept that.
Do you accept that the universe explains its own existence?
Let me continue with the previous thread. Okay. What was I talking about?
I was talking about, when you finished, I brought up the subject of you being a world-troubled man.
Thank you. Do I believe? Okay, so the caveman, so the lightning strike.
Yep.
And then could not imagine what kind of divine power created that fire. And then later, during civilization, we learned that it's weather, lightning. And so we erased the caveman's belief of a higher dimension, higher power, because we learned about it. And throughout civilization, we learned about more and more things, and we squeezed out the divine power from more and more aspects of our life.
I find the opposite. We are at one point trying to give everything that we couldn't understand about the natural world, and we said, oh, this spiritual thing did it, or this did it, that did it, this, you know, supreme thing, something did it. But later on, as we went through the periods of reason and enlightenment, we realized, as we developed our methodologies of scientific experimentation to understand our natural world, there seems to be some fundamental truths in this world. Our world is rational. Our world is rational. We can make meaning out of it. Why? There are things that are operational in this universe, in our cosmos, that doesn't just simply flip-flop. We've discovered these as fundamental laws of nature. Laws of electromagnetism.
We're still discovering.
Yeah, but as we've discovered them, we profoundly now are at a loss to explain this without invoking a super intelligence behind all of this.
I disagree with
I will tell you, of course you can, but let's see how we can disagree. We look at the precise arrangement of this world. Precision, design and engineering. We look at the tree, the water defies gravity, goes up from the roots to the branches with capillary suction. That is a design feature. Everywhere I look, yourself, your liver, so much design. When you and I were only cell as a zygote, become a blastocyst, 2 cells, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and we would multiply. What happened was, those cells started differentiating into different kind of cells. The cells of the liver differentiated them from the cells of the heart or the cells of the skin, and they started migrating towards a place and form that tissue, knowing exactly where to go, how to aggregate themselves based on a precise instruction, which is coded in the DNA. So I look at the DNA and I look at this language of the DNA. Precise information which is high level complexity.
Your body language is decreasing your meaning.
You're not listening, are you? Are you listening? Are you listening? What I'm saying is, we've come to a point of DNA. DNA is a coded language of information. It tells us exactly how tall you're going to be, your skin color going to be, your eyes, what color they're going to be, whether you have 2 eyes or 3 eyes. So this information, when I look at it, I see nothing but design. What do you see?
If you subject a person to radioactivity, they mutate because their DNA is damaged.
Do they become a fly?
They become 3 eyes and 6 fingers.
When you subject a human being to radioactivity, have they become a fly? Ever? Have you seen one?
What kind of question is that?
That's what you are alluding to. You can change them.
I'm alluding to mutation. I'm not alluding to
Mutations
changing-
cannot change to a different species. That's what I'm arguing against. Have you seen
I
through
didn't
mutation?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Let's define mutation. A change.
Which is controlled, not random.
Incremental.
Not random,
Incremental.
but not random.
That's a good point about incremental.
Incremental
But
and
not random.
randomly incremental.
No, not random.
Randomly incremental.
Have you seen the recent papers?
The damage from the radioactivity.
May I just ask you, have you seen recent papers within the last 5-6 years that mutations are not random?
That's a different question.
Let's go with it.
Okay.
Different question.
Okay. Only because you say so. But otherwise, I would have challenged you on mutations being random.
Body language is different.
Yes. Let's go with the idea that the world, if it's subjected to radiation,
Biological
or something,
being.
a biological being is subjected to radiation, it mutates, right?
It changes.
Yeah, it changes, right? Would you say that information is gained or lost?
There's no information.
There's no information.
No information.
There's no
gained,
information.
gained or lost. Probably the sum of information. Looking at entropy, the sum of information
Yes.
is probably identical,
Okay.
but the contents of the information changed.
But as long as you recognize that there is entropy involved in changing things, right?
Those things are not tied together.
Body language?
Well, if entropy, what is entropy for you?
What is it for you?
Well, you were the one that made the claim of entropy. You brought that understanding, and I need to know what you mean by that.
Okay. I mean exactly how physics mean it.
Which is what? The transfer of energy?
Entropy,
The transfer at a very basic level, the transfer of energy? No?
entropy is increasing over time.
Disorder or
Of what?
order?
Of what?
Entropy itself is increasing over time. For example, if you,
Sure.
if you look at the video
Yeah.
and some person is walking,
Yes.
you can tell from the video
Yeah.
if he's walking forward or walking backward, because entropy increases over time. You can even tell if somebody's faking it and walking backwards. You can even tell which way time is. So entropy has an arrow identical vector with time.
So entropy is the movement, the linear movement of energy from one moment in time to another.
No, there's no energy involved.
There's no energy whatsoever.
Entropy, if you want to insist on defining it,
Yeah.
defined by complexity.
Sorry?
Complexity.
Complexity.
Entropy almost equivalent to complexity,
It's
but it is,
okay.
but it's
Complexity
not
of what?
equivalent.
So if you recognize the complexity within the world, things become more complex, things lose complexity.
Entropy never allows you to lose complexity.
So I'm just going by your definition. There's constant entropy, and things can just simply increase in complexity, right?
That's also not true.
Okay. Is that a fixed law?
And explain to me, give me your definition again.
Is entropy a fixed law?
If you look at Hyde Park today and look at a picture 15 years ago, the trees were smaller, less trees, less everything.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
can
and they
tell-
became
you
more
can-
complex.
You can tell entropy moved forward.
May I ask you, how do you account for the existence of entropy in our world? Where do you have these laws, as precise and fixed as you are explaining, come from?
Yes.
You are referring to Einstein's belief in God. Because whenever Einstein,
No, what's your belief? What he's saying is, entropy, if it accounts for mechanisms within the world, and the world had a beginning, was it?
no, we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know if it had a beginning. We really don't know.
What do your scientists say?
What do we know so far about our world?
The scientist, the modern scientist
Yes.
will say exactly that. We don't know.
So what do you follow?
Okay, let me complete the Einstein part because that's an answer to your question. Einstein was a believer of God. he famously said God does not play dice. So whenever Einstein seen something that he qualified as a miracle, he assigned the creator to it.
That's Einstein. You and I are not Einsteins.
So we are smarter because we have the benefit of 50, 70 years more of science.
Okay.
So what happens is that if you ask the question, is God responsible for entropy? Is God responsible?
How does God come into this equation?
We're asking about your belief.
No,
Do you believe in God? Where do you bring God in? I don't understand that. I'm just trying to explain, learn from you. How do we account for the existence of this precise and fixed entropy that is operational in our universe? Because this requires an explanation which is meaningful.
The word axiom is a basic truth that everything else we can derive from.
Yes.
For example, a 45-degree rectangle, edge of a rectangle,
Yep.
is an axiom of as far as you can in a two-dimensional space. That's an axiom. Thermodynamics, axiom.
We have axioms in every field, yes.
Thermodynamics could be an axiom.
Because that's the only way we explain rationally our universe. But that doesn't really answer the question, why do we take this as a brute fact? That's what essentially you're saying. We take them for granted. There are physical laws, like the laws of electromagnetism, operational in our universe, but I don't ask why, how it is there in the first place. That's what you're saying. Axiomatically we accept it, otherwise we can't do our science.
Actually, no, not that simple. We accept it axiomatically because we lack further knowledge. We are humiliated or we are humble of saying that we accept electromagnetic
If they are axiomatic truths, you can't add to an axiomatic truth, can you?
You can have multiple axiomatic truths.
Multiple. I'm talking about fundamental axioms. Like, for instance, the law of non-contradiction. The law of non-contradiction. That something and its opposite can exist at the same time.
Be true at the same time.
That's
Can you add to that and make it not true?
That's a question posed by a scientist 100 years ago. I cannot recall his
That's fine.
name.
Our point here is as follows. These laws that you're speaking of, have they always been part of the universe, and therefore has the universe always existed? Or does the universe have a beginning at which point the laws came about? Or, I don't know, I want to turn my brain off and not think about it.
Actually, you opened up 12 more questions.
Not 11, not 13?
Okay,
Go on.
symbolically speaking.
Symbolically, right.
Define universe, define beginning,
So that's-
define axiomatic. So those are not fixed, those are
But these are easy to define. What's not easy to explain from what I humbly say from your perspective is when we see our universe, which is something, matter, energy, interconvertible, we understand that now. If we exist now as something, there cannot be a time in the past where there was absolute nothingness, where there's no energy, there is no potentiality, because such a state of thing cannot make anything. That is a fundamental truth that we can accept, and you can't add or take away from it. We don't need to say, I don't know enough.
no. We do say I don't know enough.
Can something come out of nothing?
No, we don't. Okay. If you define it that way, then the answer is no.
Exactly.
But if you define it that we had a beginning of the universe, latest scientific advancement
I'm
will
going-
say there was no beginning.
Yeah, fine. They talk about the point of origin and multiverse and many things. But what I'm saying is, do you accept that there was something always in existence? If nothing cannot bring something? Because that's what it follows logically.
Something was always in existence.
Has to be.
Define always.
You and I, in this point of time, in a period of time, so we have a framework that we can refer back to, a standard, past, present, and future, because we are within it, within the time frame. So I can meaningfully explain to you what I mean by future, what I mean by present, and what I mean by past. within that framework of understanding, I am saying something has to always be there, regardless of this time frame, whether you accept it or not, it has to be there. There will be never a moment, because I'm bringing the same language again, a period, an instance, a situation where there will be nothing. So it's atemporal. I don't need to bring time in, but something has to always exist atemporally. Otherwise, you are saying nothing can exist and then something came out of it.
I never said those things.
So if you don't say, then you have to accept something is atemporally existent.
Difficult question because
Very simple.
you use phrases like universe and you use phrases like always and temporal. And
Okay, so
future
the universe
and
is
past.
the sum total of all existence. And existence is rooted in time. So existence,
Even
he's
that
saying,
is under question. The latest images from the new telescope.
Hubble?
The new one, the Webb telescope.
Okay.
Is also discrediting those notions of future, present, past, time.
How?
I don't know.
Okay, so why are you inferring or bringing in something that you don't understand? We're asking about you as an individual.
Okay.
Do you believe that the sum total of all things have always existed, or that they had an absolute beginning in time?
Something always existed, yes.
So you believe something has always existed?
What would be the property of that thing?
You see, that's where state of the art is so important, is because remember when science said the universe is 2.7 billion, 2.3 billion years old?
13.8. 13.8.
Remember when they said
it in the past?
Oh, in the past, in the past.
2.3, and then 5 years later, when Hubble was in space, they said 4.7, and now the Webb is in space, and then at 14.7. No, wait. This is the point here, is that if the scientists said that our instruments can see this far in distance, can infer this far back in time, this is what we think today the universe is, then I would say you scientists did a good job. But the scientists didn't do a good job because they said the universe is 3.3 billion years old. 5 years later, when we have a better instrument, the universe is 4.7 years old. No. If they had said, we have now better instruments, more sensitivity, we can see further away, we can see further in the past, we think 4.7 billion years is the correct distance. Oh, wait. The new telescope is now 14.7.
So how does this answer the question as to whether the universe has a beginning or
It's
not?
the same answer as the cavemen looked at the lightning and made the conclusion that's a supernatural.
No, that's through inferences. We're talking about axiomatic truths.
We are
Either the universe always existed, and you don't need to increase in our technology of being able to look into the universe
When
to
we have
know
the
whether that's true or false.
When we have more and more technology and more precise, sensitive instruments, would they come up with that we don't exist? Everything is an illusion? Do you think?
What I think is the same ignorance that allowed the caveman to think that lightning is a super.
So you believe in the science of the gaps?
The same phenomena made the caveman believe it's a supernatural phenomena. Is the same phenomena we are questioning those same things because we don't know.
This has nothing to do.
We're changing it.
Is the Earth a triangle? Our Earth.
Is it a sphere?
So can we settle this question, or do we have to say we need precise instruments?
A stupid question.
No, it's not.
Ask a different
It's not. I'm addressing your science of the gaps argument. We don't have sensitive instruments yet to answer all these questions. For the Earth's, the way it is, the structure of it, we've actually gone outside the Earth and gone all around it to observe it. So we don't need any more sensitive instrument to say it's flat or it's a triangle or this. We know how it looks like.
You're bringing in flat earth people? What
No.
the hell is this?
No, what I'm saying is,
No, listen.
I am addressing your science of the gaps argument, which is, I don't know anything about this yet. I can't really give you an answer because in the future, we are like cavemen now. In the future, we will know. So in terms of something always existing, that something cannot make any transformation. I'm now just giving you the reason why we make that point. Something, transformation is a change.
It's always changing.
Good, so there's always transformation. Transformation cannot happen from that something unless that something has some essential properties. That's what we're saying.
Properties, again, you're entering into...
What does it what mean? What does is mean? What does mean?
Perfect. You're
Yeah?
proving my point. Yes.
So that's what how, is this when you go to a restaurant with your friend, right? We've met for 20 years, wow, and then you sit there and order. Cappuccino? What is cappuccino? And your friend says, what is what? What is? And then you discuss between yourself. What's the menu? And then at the end of the day, would you have a good meal there?
Those are language axioms you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying we have to come away from this kind of, brain stagnation, right? Where we don't question critically and analyze critically.
I am questioning critically.
But you're not. You're actually saying we can't because the moment a critical question came, you said, what do you mean by universe? What do you mean by atemporal? You know what it means because every word I'm using, I can define it with a dictionary. But you didn't ask, can you explain to me what do you mean by atemporal? Did you?
No.
You just simply said, what do you mean by that?
Okay. And instead of explaining it, you're questioning the question. Don't
No.
question the question. Explain it.
I explained it to you. I explained and gave you reasons why, as a rational, critical thinking individuals, we cannot but, meaning we have to believe and accept to be true, that this cosmos is a product of an intelligent agency.
I reject that premise from A to Z.
Based on what?
Based on everything they said.
Like what? What's your basis to reject something I've analyzed and given you critically with evidence?
Show me proof.
And what do you mean by proof?
We're back to the
No. I will give you the proof only if you tell me what is proof to you.
What proof do you want? You ask the question. He has the right to ask you to define terms.
All right.
Deductive, abductive.
You can supply me proof the moment you convince me about the words aperiodic, atemporal, universe.
Let's start with the beginning. The present.
Yeah, well, we're circling now.
Let's start with the present moment and let's talk about things that we cannot disagree with, which transcends asking for evidence. The present moment. The present moment.
Excuse me.
Do you need an evidence for that? Are you going to ask me what my definition of present is?
Are you familiar with Einstein's relativity?
Let's not talk about relativity because I don't believe in Einstein's idea of positivism, nor do I believe that Einstein's idea that the universe has always existed. Okay, I'm asking you what you believe, not what Einstein believes.
We're not defending Einstein, or we're not going against him. He's out of the question.
The reason I'm asking about Einstein's relativity is because...
I don't care about
No, wait. If you don't care about it, then we don't have a discussion. Einstein's relativity states that now is defined differently for different observers.
Yes, because he had a philosophical bent.
No.
Yes, he was a
physical. This is physical.
He was a positivist. He believed that the past, present, and future they equally exist. What do you mean no? This
has nothing to do.
Okay, go on.
Relativity itself is now defined differently.
What was his philosophical paradigm?
No, it was not philosophical.
I'm asking you. Every scientific experimentation we do is rooted on a philosophical paradigm. What was his philosophical paradigm?
I don't know.
Then how can you say no?
No, I'm not talking about philosophical paradigm. I'm talking about
Science is rooted in philosophical paradigms.
Tell us how relativity relates to the present.
Relativity defines time differently for different observers, based upon their position, based upon the speed
Sure.
of light, and based upon their speed relative to their environment.
Sure.
So now is not defined as
No, that's
now
wrong. No, that's completely wrong. Either you're ignorant of relativism, or you're ignorant of the present moment. Hold on. I'm not judging. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it to you. Relativism is the what's the word? The relative spatial differences between existing things. So the spatial area that you occupy is different to the spatial area that he occupies, and it's different to the spatial area that I occupy. But how does that now mean that we don't share the same present moment? I've never heard Einstein say that, for instance, when time dilation takes place through maybe traveling closer to the speed of light or being close to a black hole, that people, they share a different present moment. Tell me how.
Einstein didn't say anything.
Okay, so what's relativity got to do with us sharing the present moment?
That's the part of relativity that
No, I don't think
makes time based upon gravitational force.
Okay, did you have a past?
That's what I'm
Did you have a past moment? Let's be very, very bland. Did you have a past moment at all? Were you always like this, or were you younger and different? Have you gone through a time, the era of time, where there was a past and traversed it?
5 years ago, when you experienced something, you had a particular view of it. Today you're smarter. I am smarter than 5 years ago. Can you recall how much difference is that what you see today?
No, not in terms of the present moment. The present moment is the same for people who lived 1 million years ago as it is today and as it's going to be in the future.
So 5 years ago, when you experienced something, you looked at it a particular way. Today, you look at something a particular way. It's very different.
That's fine. We agree. You see, one thing we
What's that
agree.
to do with the present?
So that means that we had a past. It's real for both of us.
Okay, we all have.
So we understand what is past and present, and what will happen tomorrow, Monday, bank holiday. That's the future I'm talking about.
We don't know if it will happen, but
We don't know it will happen or not. Correct.
But we will know in the present moment.
But in the present moment, we understand there's something we're looking forward to in the future. That's what I mean, the future. So what we're saying is, when we say there was something that existed always, that's atemporal. You don't need to have past, present, and future, because always has to exist, even there was no time. Because time itself, in the space-time fabric, is a creation of our world.
they claim the creator is atemporal, if you insist.
I am not claiming, we are establishing with reason and logic. There has to be something that exists beyond time, even before
I
time.
have never denied any of that.
Good. So you worship, or not worship, you accept, sorry, wrong use of term. You affirm and accept that there is an entity, a thing, or being that existed with no beginning.
I reject wording of entity and being.
So what do you call it?
We don't know.
Okay. What is its properties?
Again, back to the same question. Properties.
Yeah, without having properties, you can't do anything.
Yeah,
Let me give you an example. If that thing, let's call it thing for the sake of easiness, if that thing that existed always did not have the ability to make any transformation or change, no change will happen. You have to have the ability to do it. Didn't possess energy or ability, nothing will transform.
According to Einstein, he put forth a motion of laws,
And how does that help?
and then it's self-navigated. Kind of like your free will.
So how does that help my question? If you did not have the property of having the ability to transform for that thing that always existed, no transformation will happen. Agree or disagree? If you disagree, you have to give me a reason that, oh, yes, without the ability, transformation can happen. Like if you don't have the ability to speak Bangla, Bengali language, can you speak Bangla? Yeah. Can you speak Bangla without having ability? No.
I can speak Bengali.
So you need to have the ability and the knowledge that comes along with it. So we are saying something that existed always, what my brother was trying to define, has self-awareness to make any transformation, has the intention to transform, has the ability to transform, and has the knowledge and the know-how how to transform. These four characteristics are essential for any transformation.
Okay,
That is the characteristics of what we say is the originator of our universe, God.
These assumptions you're making,
Not assumptions, conclusions.
these conclusions,
Inferences, yeah.
these inferences you're making
Yeah.
are all arbitrary.
Nope.
It exists in you very strongly. I can feel
Not
that.
arbitrary. I can tell you why. This is independent of me and you speaking about this fact. If you did not have those properties, this transformation would not follow. If you don't accept that statement, tell me a mechanism in which these things transformation can happen without those properties.
First, you're speaking of transformation. I don't think there was a transformation.
Past and present is a transformation. You don't have to think, it's real. You accept it, you conceded to it already.
We still don't know what time is.
Doesn't matter, you've conceded there was a change. There was a past and now it's a present.
Too simple.
Doesn't matter, you've already accepted and conceded. There's no way back unless you want to change your mind. Do you accept there was a past?
I accept that is different for every observer.
Doesn't matter. For you, do you accept there was a past?
As a human being, yes, but I
There you
have
go.
nothing to do with properties and change.
Yes.
And
Transformation cannot happen unless those properties existing
the transformation you speak of, define it.
change.
Define it.
From one moment to the next. What something is, I'm
Define the
defining it.
moment. Define the moment.
A moment is an instance. An instance is the smallest possible measurement of time. So a moment is defined by one instance, which is the beginning point of that moment, and the end of that moment is the second instance. So what the moment was at the beginning is different to what it was at the end. Does that satisfy your definition?
And it's different for every observer.
No, but does that satisfy your definition? Then you tell us what your definition of change is.
Okay.
Tell us what changes.
If we refer to a biological being,
No. We don't want to hear any biology. We don't want to hear any being. We want for you to tell us what your foundational definition of change is. I've given you ours. A moment is defined by the two properly basic instances that act as boundary.
in time.
They have to be, because a moment is in time.
See, this is where the problem starts.
No. We want to know what your definition is now.
My definition is this is where the problem starts. We're talking about
That's not a definition.
Two discrete, because I don't have one. You have one.
So you don't have if you don't have a definition of change, then how are you going to be able to determine whether something is true or false
That's my
in regards
biological
to
being.
time?
That's my biological being.
Okay, so as a biological being, tell us what your definition of change is.
As my biological being, I accept the discrete time point and the end. I accept the change, the ability, the properties. But we're not talking about biological being. We're talking about the universe is very infinite creation. I don't accept nothing.
So you don't generalize in science.
He spoke about change, didn't you? He spoke about change because he brought forth the understanding that something that brings something else about has to have certain properties.
And I reject
And he said that
Based
this
on
is a change from something not existing to something existing.
And I reject your rejection. Now, the question would be, why do you reject? Based on what?
based on the scientists that said 4.7, 14.7. We don't know if there was.
What is
if
your
we don't know,
what is your definition?
That's my
Not your
definition.
scientists.
No, that's my definition.
And what do they say?
They lied. They made up stuff for profit. They made up stuff for tenure.
Okay, they were wrong in various instances.
No, they were wrong if they said that this is 14.7 million years old. We think, but this is how far we can measure it.
Yeah. But have we come to know something that we don't need finer instruments, like the Earth shape?
It's a geodesic shape.
How do you bring in
Do we
your
need any
scientists?
more finer instruments? But what we have, is it not sufficient to say, now I have knowledge about the shape of the earth?
We have enough instruments for that, but we don't
Good.
have instruments enough that answers your questions about.
Which instruments do you need to answer my question?
I think it's more philosophical than
We have the philosophical instruments already.
He's given you a philosophical argument.
you do.
You do not.
You have that in your disposal. You're not accepting or willing to accept. That's the difference.
I am willing to accept.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
good.
Accepting.
Okay, if you're willing to accept, that's good.
No, I'm
Yeah.
willing to accept.
The next step would be, what would you make accept? So you need to have some kind of coherence in terms of any philosophical instruments that we give. Does it make sense? Does it have a good explanatory power and scope? Would you agree?
It doesn't have to have any of those traits.
Then how do you accept something to be true?
That's why I'm not accepting.
So in other words, you don't care about truth.
What is truth? What is care?
Are you alive? Are you alive? Or is that not true either?
That's an axiom there. You see
But
me.
is that a true statement that you're alive?
I don't know.
So you could be dead.
I'm kind of retired, so I'm half alive, half dead. No, this is.
Do you exist?
You're force
What's
feeding.
your name?
The truth claim.
Peter,
Peter, I'm Mansur. This is my friend Hamza, my brother.
Nice to meet
trying
you.
to force feed me a particular point of view.
No. We're going to the fundamentals. Let's give you another more fundamental truth claim. Does Peter exist? Do you exist?
Truth, fundamental. Rejecting all those things because your meaning has a different dimension than my meaning.
Do you know what you just said there is a fundamental truth? You just said truth, fundamentals, reject that. You've just acknowledged that there's one fundamental truth, which is truth, fundamentals, reject that.
I'm not rejecting mine. I'm rejecting
Yes.
yours.
Doesn't matter.
The moment you reject,
You've affirmed it.
the moment you affirm yours and reject others, you affirm there is a fundamental truth already.
Yeah, I understand. That.
Yeah.
You understand that, yeah?
This is the
And then-
exist, non-exist.
So do you recognize that you just refuted yourself?
No, I recognize the non-existent and existent, non-existent.
You recognize.
I recognize it, but
What happens when we die, according to your worldview? Once we die, what happens? Do worms come and eat you and then that's the end of it? Or is there another life afterwards?
Do you think? What
No, not what I think. I can tell you what I think as Muslims, not what I think we accept to be true. I'm just interested in your worldview. When we all die, what happens? Nothing?
all the biological force, the thoughts, everything will
So you will just,
lose power.
so you just disappear into oblivion, nothing. Nothing, right? So there's no meaning in life.
What motivates you? What motivates you to get up in the morning, Peter?
How does that?
We want to understand your philosophy of life.
How does that connect to my life?
Well, if nothing,
Yeah.
if there is no meaning to life, ultimately,
I find meaning.
we find meaning. And so what motivates you?
I was in Jakarta, Muslim majority country. First time in a Muslim majority country. And I'm in a Muslim minority country. The Muslims are all nice, all spiritual. And I'm in a Muslim majority country. I lose all that.
What was your experience?
They lost all the gentleness, they lost all the patience, they lost all that a Muslim outside of a Muslim majority country.
What was your experience? Give me a few examples to
I have
understand.
a good example for you. Every morning, 5 o'clock, no.
Beautiful adhan, yeah. Soothing, calming, yeah. Yeah?
The problem is that being a Muslim majority country, there's a mosque every kilometer.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm not denying that either. So every time they woke me up,
Waking early is good for your health.
I reject that as well.
Based on what? Science? Do you have the science to back up?
No, actually, you have the science to back yours.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's put that to table because it's not instrumental.
I'm sure you can get a lot of.
Not instrumental for my point. Okay, so my point is a hypothetical conversation to the Imam. I go hypothetical to the Imam.
You had one.
No, I hypothetical, meaning I never had it.
Yeah, in your mind, in your mind.
But in my mind.
No, I wanted an experience that you lived in which you felt that you were not treated well in a Muslim majority country.
Follow me. So hypothetical conversation between...
Spare me that. I was simply wanting to know.
Answering that very question.
Okay.
So I go like, Imam, you talk to your creator 5 times a day. What do you say? Not hypothetical, I ask many people.
I can tell you, if you ask me.
We can get to that when I make my point.
Okay.
So the Imam gives me an answer, and I go like, why don't you, what do you have to say to your creator 5 times a day? Why don't you talk to him once a day or once a week, and then you have something to say? As a human being, it's a natural thought process. You need to give time for experience to accumulate.
It's a beautiful point. I just want to, when you love someone, you only speak to them once a year, sending them a Christmas card, or do you want to speak to them every often?
Good question. So
Good question.
I'm asking. No, I'm asking.
We love our God. We want to speak to Him constantly. Minimum 5 times a day is actually, we think, that's.
Don't prevent yourself from listening because.
I'm listening. I'm listening quite attentively. That's why I'm making this point. But carry on.
No. I am sensitive to what you're saying, but please listen instead. So I asked the Imam, please, only once a week or once a day. Obviously, I had the motive of the singing 5 o'clock in the morning. And then the Imam would say, like, no, we are traditional Islam. We will speak to our Creator 5 times a day as ordained. And I'm like, if you're traditional Islam, fucking remove the speakers. Remove those fucking speakers. And, this is what the biggest problem of Islam is that it's full of double standards.
What are you talking about?
So you didn't like the adhan?
Double standards.
Did you like the adhan? The call of prayer, you didn't like it?
I accept it.
No, you didn't like it. You didn't want the loud voice to come, right?
Yeah, because it's a speaker every kilometer.
Right. So they have to accommodate you because you're. Then why are you complaining?
I'm not complaining. I'm having a hypothetical conversation with the Imam.
Is that conversation of complaint, or saying I approve? Well done, thank you. Yeah, carry on with your tradition. What is it?
Once a day.
Oh, so you don't like 5 times a day? You want once a day? So you're complaining.
If you didn't hear the message.
So you're complaining. So basically, what I've understood is this. If you love someone, it's okay if you once in a lifetime you say, hi, how are you doing? Like your parents or your children, for example. Do you have children, kids? Yeah. So don't speak to them every day or every month or every year. Speak to them maybe once in 20 years. Just say, I'm catching up with you because I love you so much. Because I love you so much that now it's actually 20 years have gone. I just want to check on you. How are you? Or would you say like my brother Hamza saying he wants to check with his children every day?
You're blinded.
No. Which one really and genuinely shows love and care?
Don't feed me questions like that.
Okay.
You've missed the point of double standard.
What is a double standard?
If you have traditional Islam, Muhammad did not have speakers, remove the speakers. You missed the double standard because you're focusing on your world so strongly that you don't even listen.
Oh, am I not listening?
Are you?
Yeah, attentively.
So another double standard is Muslims hide their women.
You want to see our women? Why? Why do you want to see our women naked?
But they have the highest.
Huh?
Let me finish the sentence.
Okay.
But they have the highest fertility rate.
Where's your evidence?
It is well known that Islamic
Fertility or infertility? Which one?
fertility rate.
Oh, they're very fertile.
Number of kids.
Okay. Do you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay. So what are you discussing then? Double standard is?
Double standard is hide and have the highest fertility rate.
Yeah.
It's traditional Islam and have speakers. And
Do you have your money in your bank?
when I
Sorry, it's very important for me. Do you hide your money in your bank or do you keep it open on your yard saying, this is my money? What do you do?
don't give me loaded questions.
No, I want to know.
Ask
Do
me
you,
until-
whatever you consider precious,
Ask
do
me-
you hide it and
Like his
protect it?
bike, the way he ran there and grabbed his bike and brought it closer to him
Yeah.
because you felt
We are
that it
in-
might be stolen,
We
right?
are in London. I already got things stolen. That's experience.
So do you hide your money in your bank? I'm really interested in that.
Don't ask loaded questions.
It's not a loaded question. It's a
loaded
very
question.
important question to get answers to. Because if you hide your money in a bank, keep it protected under a safe and lock, I want to know why. Why?
I have a friend who pays zakat, and zakat.
No, you're not answering my question, are you? Why do you protect your money with safe key and lock? Why?
I'm not answering any of the loaded questions.
Then let's end it there. Let's end it there. Pleasure speaking to you, Peter. Regardless of our opinion, okay, let's hope that the world becomes better by critical thinking people.
Thank you.
Yeah, may God guide us closer and closer. Take care. There's your bike.
What do you think? Safe journey.